What up, survivors? Welcome to D180, the horror movie podcast, taking you on a ride. Thanks for riding with us. I'm AJ.
And I'm Janae.
And on today's episode, we get into our third movie for our theme, Nannies Gone Wild. First of all, okay, time out. Let me just apologize. Last week when Scream came out, I was just consumed. And we was like trying to recover from a 2-week break and get back on schedule. And that Hereditary episode came out a whole day late. That first of all, let's talk survivors. Because y'all was like, where's the episode? Y'all was like, did the park's not open? It was not, okay? Because that episode, first of all, the episode was up 3 hours long. I had to edit 3 different voice checks. It was just a lot. And Scream was coming out. And I had gotten sick. I didn't have the Rona, but I had whatever that bug is that's not the Rona, but everybody thinks it's the Rona, but it's not. It was that. And I just, I couldn't move. I was helpless. I couldn't do anything. So y'all got the episode. It came out. And now we're here. Now. Okay. Now y'all can get off my back. Because I'm sorry. Because, the thing about it was the episode started and there was no music. And then 30 seconds in, I just started talking. And I was like, I didn't even add the music in the beginning of the episode. And I was just like, Not only am I late with the episode, it's not even edited the right way. And it's okay. Y'all still ran that episode up. Y'all ran that episode up on the first day it dropped. And I am happy. Y'all so loyal. But it's okay because I'm not going to do that no more. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But anyway. Today we are talking about Grandmother's House from 1988. This is our third movie for this month, like I said earlier, and this one is a real low-key cut, y'all. Now, if you want to watch this one, it's currently streaming on TUBI and Vudu for the free. But when you go on there, guys, I know that I'm pretty sure on the park guide, and maybe on here, once I type this, we gonna see. It probably says Grandma's House. But when you go on Tubi, you have to type in Grandmother's House to find it. Don't ask me why, because I really don't know. I tried to do research to see why does it have 2 different names. Because on some of the VHS covers and whatever cover art posters, it says Grandma's House. And on other ones, it says Grandmother's House.
There's actually another horror movie called Grandma's House that
I know.
Almost watched.
Yeah, I was
like,
just
wait a minute.
Maybe that was why. I tried to do some digging and find stuff for y'all. This movie, literally has, yeah, that's just that. I was like, oh, okay, well, we about to do this. And that's what it is. So I guess with that being said, we just jump right in.
Park recommendations.
And I only have one this week. When I was watching this movie, I said, this is definitely a prerequisite to The Visit. And The Visit is one movie that I suggested before. It's from 2015. I really like that movie. And I would not be surprised if M. Night Shyamalan was inspired by this movie somehow. Especially because, no spoilers, but there is kind of like a gotcha moment. That's all I'll say. There's a gotcha moment in this movie. But yeah, survivors, if you can help out, because that's the only one I got. If you want to help me out and you got a part recommendation that matches this movie, you can let us know on our Twitter. So obviously it's everybody's first time seeing this movie.
Yeah, it was. This movie was directed by Peter Rader. It was his very first film. Written by Gail Jensen and Peter C. Jensen. Produced by Nico Masterakis. Starring Eric Foster as David, Kim Valentine as Lynn, Len Lesser as the grandfather / Spike, Ida Lee as grandmother, Brinke Stevens as woman, and I think that's the only ones I'm going to name because those are the only ones that really matter.
So Brand Stevens, she is like that bitch when it comes to the slasher movies. So she was in the Slumber Party Massacre, the 1982 one, not the brand new one. I still haven't seen the brand new one. So if she do make an appearance up in there, let me know. But I mean, yeah, she up in there. Then she was in Sorority Babes in the Slime Bolorama, Nightmare Sisters. I feel like I seen her in something else too. But she one of those people, like in the 80s, she was that bitch. And it's crazy because in this movie, she actually dyed her hair with like gray highlights so she can look older. So they thought she can, you know how it is in Hollywood. They like, girl,
Yeah.
you be running around with your titties out. You can't be nobody mama. Yes, I can. But yeah, even Kim Valentine, she was in Family Matter. I didn't even realize that was her for real. But yeah, she's been in a few things too. But then our main character, David, Eric Foster, he hasn't really done too much. And I feel like I've seen his face before. I know that a lot of people probably know him from Cry Wilderness, but I have not seen that movie. But when I seen his face, I was like, his face looked familiar, but I don't know why I know him.
You don't recognize the old man?
I didn't watch Seinfeld. I know he's from Seinfeld, but I didn't watch it like that.
I didn't watch Seinfeld either.
Yeah,
I watched Everybody Loves Raymond,
Yeah.
and he was on there for a little bit too.
Yeah.
That was
It's
one
like
of them
he's
TV
one of those
shows.
people that you just know, like, I know he famous. Because BJ kept looking at him. He was like, I know that man. And then we started watching, like, videos after the movie, as we usually do. And somebody was like, yeah, it's Grandpa from Seinfeld. He was like, oh, that is him. And I was like, yeah, nope. I
ain't watched Seinfeld, but I did watch Everybody Loves Raymond. It was one of those shows you didn't really have cable. You only had like a few channels, and then like Everybody Loves Raymond would come on it. So I remember seeing him.
Yeah.
The cinematography was done by Peter C. Jensen. It was edited by Barry Zetlin, and music was by Nigel Holton and Clive Wright.
So this movie is super fucking low key. Like I told you, I took some digging. I don't know if I can post the link, but if I can, I did find like a documentary talking about it. These kids were originally played by some other kids, and that's probably why throughout the movie, and I don't know, this might not be the case, but when you're watching the movie and you hear the kids talking, you're like, why the fuck do their voices sound so weird? And then you be watching and you like, the voices don't match up with their lips. This dubbing is horrible. Well, I don't know if this is 100% true. Well, it was two other kids playing them. So I think those are the other kids' voices over their voices. And it was weird. But nonetheless, we can keep it moving. Let's get in line before we get on the ride for grandmother's house.
Step in line. Your number is near. Follow the signs. Your time is here. Watch your step. This one's a doozy.
All right, so we are going to take a little quiz to find out how old we'll be when we become grandparents.
I just feel like I gotta be a parent first before this.
And it asks you that in this quiz. It takes that into consideration.
Oh, okay.
So, what is your current relationship status? Single, crushing, dating, engaged, married? It's complicated.
I'm just playing.
No. Wow.
Because I'm like, we not dating. Like, we past dating. Like, they don't have, like we 2 steps away from engaged. I think. I don't know. Maybe. But I'm like, I guess I'm
this episode over to BJ and be like,
right. Like, well, yeah, I'll just pick dating.
I pick dating too, because none of the other ones match. All right, pick an animal. Dog, cat,
a dog,
horse, bunny, hamster, fox.
It's always the dog.
So I was gonna pick a dog, but then I saw fox and I was like, what does the fox say? So I picked fox. Do you have kids? No, but I am currently expecting. Yes, 1. Yes, 2. Yes, 3. Yes, 4 or more.
Jesus, no.
I put no as well. All right, pick a color. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or purple.
Green.
I picked blue. And then, how old are you? Under 15, 16 to 21, 22 to 30, 31 to 37, 38 to 45, or 46 or over?
I am in the 22 to 30 range.
Same here. Now, how old are you?
Damn. Not 72.
That's actually better
What?
than mine. I got that I would be 81 when I finally become a grandparent.
What the hell? I guess. Like, Jesus. I guess. Well, all right. I mean, survivors, you can play this one. The link to this one is at the bottom. Tell us what age you'll become a grandparent, or if you could be a grandparent already. You know, maybe that. See if they were. See if they were telling the truth or not.
Status.
Okay, like something like that. But yeah, let us know over on our Twitter or any of our other socials. And now we can get ready to get into 1988's Grandmother's House.
Every old house has one room that's always locked. This is where the house keeps its secrets. Ghosts of the past and sins long forgotten. This summer, David is snooping around his grandparents' farm. And there's only one door he hasn't opened.
What's wrong, David? You look so pale. Why are you looking at me like that?
I was thinking maybe he didn't see it.
What gets me is when they go snooping and poking around a house.
I can think of some places that I wouldn't want to stick my nose in your house, Spike.
She's been in the custody of the state for 12 years. She escaped from the hospital in Jamestown yesterday.
They lied to us, Lynn.
Drop the gun, boy.
Grandmother's house. You're invited. Grandmother's house. A Nico Masterakis production from Omega Entertainment.
All right. For me, this trailer showed literally everything. It was 3 whole minutes, but it's arranged in a way that makes the movie seem better than what it is, at least for me.
I just felt like this was one of those. This had to be meant for like kids, because I'm like, I don't see this being any other way. I don't know. I was just like, so we go into grandma's house and fucked up chaos ensues. And there's a wild banshee running around. It was this wild banshee. That's what she was looking like. Especially when it would flip to like the stunt double with just the all dark black 1B wig. I was like, and then the head was always down, so you didn't know it was a stunt double. I was just like, yes, wild banshee vibes.
I feel like it could have been used as a skeleton for a short, and this movie could have been 45, 60 minutes max.
What is the runtime of this movie? It's
145.
Like, yeah, it did
not. Actually, it's like
130
something. Actually,
yeah, it did not need to be that long at all.
At all. But let's get into it. So this movie has a long ass opening credit scene. But when it finally opens, we're at a cemetery watching the interment of David and Lynn's father. Since both of their parents have died, they're sent to live with their maternal grandparents. On the bus ride to their grandparents' house, there's this woman standing in the middle of the road. She doesn't move, which causes the bus driver to swerve around her and hit some trash on the side of the road. The first night in the house, the children are adjusting to their new life, but the dynamics between the grandparents and the children are kind of a little weird a little bit, especially between David and his grandfather. David doesn't really look like he's into this whole new arrangement, but starts making use of his stealth telescope and sees the woman standing outside the house. His grandfather interrupts to let us know that David was born in the room that he's staying in. Once David goes to sleep, he has a nightmare about his grandfather killing a woman and his grandmother helping to move the body. In that same dream, his grandfather stabs the fuck out of him.
First things first, let's just rewind. Lynn's hair at the funeral, Lynn's attire at the funeral, I was just like, who did this girl's hair? Because, I mean, and I know in the 80s, it was like big hair, like the layers, that was the look. But I was just like, Jesus, child, like this was drastic. This was a lot. Also, when it came to that bus driving trip, you were so far away from her. Why you didn't just stop? Did you have to just
That's
swerve?
what I'm saying.
Like, why we didn't just stop? We did the most for no reason. We knocked over these taxpayers' garbage can for no reason. Literally for no reason.
All that honking and shit. Like, you could have just... Why didn't you slow down?
Also,
he was far enough away to slow down.
He was. That's what I first started with. I was saying, like, you were far enough back to slow down. I just don't understand why we did all this. This was a lot. But when they get to the grandparents' house, I can tell it's weird because we find out later on in the movie that they used to live there. Now, as far as like David, I would understand why David is a little weirded out. He's younger, so he probably don't have that many memories. But Lynn, I'm just like, why are you acting so weird? You was just here not too long ago.
Just last summer.
Acting like, right, you was acting like you just wasn't here. Like, you don't know these niggas. Like, what's going on? And that's the thing with this movie. Like, it forgets really quick and things stop making sense because it's just like, well, how does this work? Because you big enough to know this. So had to, okay, continue.
Also, before I move on, I just want to know why. I know it's a dream. Dreams don't make sense sometimes. But if you done knock something over, I would run. Why would you sit there and hide underneath a blanket in the middle of the floor?
Hide under the blanket. And I'm like, I get it's a dream. But, nigga, what did you... That was your best option. And then first of all, why was you like they're glass jars? You can see through that. Like you didn't need to be moving them.
Child.
Like
a mess. The next day, the family goes to a swimming competition. The woman that was in the road was hiding on the main street in the bushes as the family leaves the house. She then hitchhikes to the competition to watch David under the bleachers. So I just want to say that it was at this moment I figured out the woman was the mother, especially after seeing like that blurry wedding picture on the dresser before they left the house.
Yeah, so I did too.
I instantly figured it out. But then the grandmother. Congratulations! We lost. You lost.
First of all, his pools were terrible. I'm sorry. Like
swimming school
Survivors, if you guys don't know, I at the moment am a swim instructor and his technique was terrible. I see why they lost. Because bitch, like why are you so a pool is basically what it means when we're talking about the arm motion of swimming. And his arm motion, it was so wide, like he was digging through like water or something. I'm like, you need to narrow your arms and your knees are too bent. That's why you're not going nowhere. And you keep lifting your head up. Put your face in the water. Like, and that front flip, Jesus, that front flip was atrocious.
It was terrible.
I was just like, I would rip my kids 3 new ones for looking like that in the water. Like, ew. No,
I didn't want to give him the
3-year-olds.
benefit of the doubt just a little bit because he did get sidetracked because the woman was underneath the bleachers, and so he missed his mark. But then not only that, the dude, the coach, whoever, pushed him in. So
this is true, but after like a few seconds, I expect you to straighten up that technique. This nigga just can't swim. And then it's just like, if he new in town, and movies do this all the time, so I'm not knocking it because movies do this all the time. But if he new in town, why the fuck is he competing anyway? He should be watching. He shouldn't even be in the pool.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's new because we already know that the sister has been here the previous summer, which leads me to believe that he's been there too, because before he went to bed, the grandmother was like, so don't forget I forgot to put a blanket on your bed. Do you know where the blankets are? He was like, yeah, I know where they are. I remember. So that leads me to believe that they both come every summer. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think he can swim.
Yeah. And then it was just like the amount of Black people that I did not see in this movie.
I mean, you're in rural, apparently this was rural California. So
yeah, I was just like, damn, we don't see not one. Like, I was expecting to see just literally like just like a random, like just one off. No, it was just all white people. I was just like, damn. And this was late 80s too. Like, we was here, but not like making a thing about it. But I just noticed. I took notes.
So the other thing that threw me through the loop was the grandmother bringing attention, well, not grandmother, grandfather bringing attention to Lynn in the pool, and grandma talking about we have to bring out the chastity belt. Ma'am, you're the one who made her wear that small ass swimsuit.
Right.
She wants to go back in the house.
First of all, that swimsuit, and it was funny because we all know that fashion recycles. I literally have a swimsuit that looks like that. I was like, oh, that's cute, girl. It is tiny, but it's cute. That's cute. And see, this is why I can't be a parent, because I would be like, no, see, the thing is, first of all, people got to stop sexualizing shit, because if y'all seen the swimsuits my mom had me in as a child, y'all would have fell out, because she had my ass in some cute shit. And people will probably be like, why do you have her dressed like that, bitch? Because it's cute. It's a swimsuit. I mean, but I didn't like how Kenny was just like all up in her.
Yeah. So now, because of you, Grandma, creepy Kenny is circling Lynn underwater like a damn shark.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Sexually harassing her and then assaulting her, essentially, because he forced himself on her, kissing her like that. And she was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, but see, now she was, but I was also just like, why are you not pushing him off of you?
That's the same thing too. I would have smacked the
fuck out of him. And then the lifeguard, no necking. Nick, did you not?
He pushed himself on me.
My grandpa came over here cussing me out, I would have slapped the fuck out of you, because now I'm in trouble, and now they think I'm fast because you don't know what no mean.
Right.
I said no.
After the competition, we see that a man has been killed and dropped in a pond. Whole time, the man was the man that the woman hitchhiking caught a ride with to the swim competition. She done killed his ass and stole his van. Back at the house, we find out that the children previously lived there with their mother when they were young after the parents broke up. Once she, quote unquote, died, their father took them back to the city. But then the Sacketts and their children roll up, interrupting this family history lesson. Darlene is now on the porch with Lynn, doing Lynn's nails, and they're comparing notes about creepy Kenny. And I find that to be very weird, because now all of a sudden you kind of like him after he was portrayed to be fucking creepy.
Yeah, I was just like, girl, no.
That was weird.
I'm like, no, I hate, that's just like that whole thing of people being like, oh, if he's only hitting you and teasing you because he likes you. No. Stop that.
Mm-mm. Meanwhile, David and Raymond explore the surrounding orange orchards. Can't talk today. David is told that a woman was allegedly murdered inside one of the tunnels, and that her body was stuffed behind a stone wall. So now Raymond decides to take a makeshift bomb out of one of the shacks that the grandfather had and detonates it over the pond, hoping to dredge out the other dead bodies. Well, This caused a loud, fucking crazy ass explosion. So David and Raymond split up. They run back to the grandparents' home, but upon arrival, David witnessed the grandparents burning clothing and dragging a woman's body into the cellar. Upon sneaking into the cellar, David finds homegirl stuffed in the refrigerator, the same woman that he saw at the swim competition. Sneaks out the basement, only to find his grandfather confronting him at the top of the stairs, but he is saved by Papa Sackett, telling him to come outside and burn some burgers.
Okay, so first of all, when you get the scene of them driving past the incident where homegirl was hitchhiking, I was just like, okay, so obviously there's got to be the mama or something. Like I said, I had figured that out a minute back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, well, what is she doing? And why do the grandparents keep killing people? What's this connection? Are they like, because when the grandpa pulled up and started talking to the police officer, I'm like, is he trying to cover his tracks? Because in true crime, serial killers do that. They will show up to the crime scene and be asking shit, knowing full well they fucking did it. So they don't, quote unquote, look like they did it. So I was just like, okay, well, what the fuck is happening? And then grandma started cussing out David. I was like, they needed you over there. I was like, damn, he just wanted to see. I mean, he didn't need nothing for you to see over there. I was like, damn, grandma. And it's so funny because everything that lady said, like she sounded just like a grandma. I was like, damn, Miss Ida, they sorry. I thought it was kind of sweet when she was showing them their mom stuff. But then when you think about the entire movie, you're like, well, just wait a fucking minute. What the fuck? Like, just what is this movie? What is happening? I'm going to keep saying that because as you get further and further into the movie, it's a lot of what the fuck is happening here? What is even happening here?
So during the barbecue, a police officer stops by inquiring about the explosion on the pond. And they go back to the little shack where they got the explosive from. And David seems like he kind of like wants to tell the police officer about the woman he found in the fridge. But his grandfather, like, you know, trying to threaten him, but not really threaten him. Like, yeah, go ahead and tell him. Go ahead. As the Sacketts leave, well, back at the house, the Sacketts are getting ready to leave. David sneaks into the attic because now he like scared for his life, where his grandfather follows him. He escapes out the window, goes into the roof of the house, accidentally severing the house's phone line in the process. Then, while he's still on the roof, Kenny shows up to take Lynn on a date, leaving David alone at home with his grandparents. Eventually, he makes it back into the house after dangling off the side of the house with his grandparents below him.
I was just like, y'all don't see this little boy dangling from the side of this roof like this?
No.
While y'all carrying this body?
Nope. You know, sometimes, you know, grandparents aren't very perceptive.
It's like, I get it, but also no. Because I'm just like, grandparents always be seeing some shit. They be acting like they don't see some shit, but they be seeing shit.
So let's go over to where Kenny and Lynn are, right? They're driving in the orchard. They park, start canoodling a little bit while he's supposed to be giving her a driving lesson. And they're like, yeah, let's go get some more privacy because we're too close in the house to like get on and popping. This whole thing is cringy because I still can't get over the fact that he was like trying to assault her in the pool. Yeah. So he lets her drive. She gets the car stuck on an old drain pipe. So now she has to run back to the house to get a jack to release the car. So while she's in the garage looking for this jack, her brother confronts her where they find the woman in the grandparents' large truck handcuffed to the wheel. David is shocked to see that she's still alive because, you know, he thought she was dead, and explains to his sister that she's being kept a prisoner. And then the woman says, oh yeah, I'm trying to warn you about the dangers of living in this house.
Just time out. Because when it got to this scene, first of all, we already done seen this bitch in a damn refrigerator. Beat over the head with a damn shovel. I'm like, how are you okay? Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck does this even work? Because like, had it been the other way around, like David like been walking past the garage and seen her in the car just sitting there staring and then got spooked, because rightfully so, because that's fucking scary. She shouldn't be there. And then for some reason, he and Lynn found her in the refrigerator and then she came alive. That shit would have been terrifying, because it's like, bitch, she's not supposed to be alive. She's fucking blue. That would have made more sense than the other way around, because it's just like, I just seen her in the refrigerator seemingly dead, and I know I just seen my grandparents whoop her ass with a shovel, and she don't look like she been beat with a shovel. Like,
apparently, according to her, she was shot up with the paralytic or something. They drugged her.
And I'm just like, that don't even make sense, because bitch, that don't make you invincible. What is happening? Like, what is going on in this movie?
So she's trying to tell them that, you know, I need some help, but don't call the police. Call this number that's in my purse. So David gets the keys to get the paper out of her purse, but she grabs a hold of his wrist so she can get the keys to free herself. They run out the garage. They run into the grandpa, tell him what happened. He tells them to go inside with the grandmother, but then grandmother's like, yeah, no, go to the Sackett's farm to get help. On the way to the farm, they run into a deputy who then tells them that the woman isn't, well, the deputy takes them back to the house, first of all, and then tells them the woman in the house, well, that they saw is really their mother. She not dead. She was put in a psychiatric hospital for the past 12 years and she dangerous. So the deputy goes into the garage, he goes into the house, but in the house he runs into her and gets attacked, and then she just stabbed him to death in the front lawn in front of the kids.
I knew it, because when he ran in the house and he came back out, I was like, oh, he got stabbed up. He's dying. What I was not expecting was the fucking mom
to run out and
continue stabbing. I'm waiting on the grandparents to do this, and like the mom to be like, kids, come on, because I'm thinking like the grandparents are playing the key. I don't know. The kids realize like, oh shit, we weren't supposed to let this lady free, and she about to go do some shit. Let's go get our grandparents, but our grandparents are fucking murderers too. But whole time we covering up this bitch's murders. Like, oh shit. It was a lot. I was just like, oh, goddamn. Mm-hmm. She was delivering them blows. I said, damn, are you Ghostface?
Seeing this, the children flee into the garage and escape in the truck that the woman was once in. In the process, the mama hops on the side of the truck and clings to it. They manage to throw her from it as they speed through the orchard, but they stop to get Kenny's ass.
I'm just like, okay.
And he was nowhere to be found.
Mm-mm.
And now the truck's dead. So now they're running on foot. So their mother manages to start the truck and starts chasing the kids through the grove. After a 5-minute chase scene, yes, 5 minutes of running through a whole bunch of things, David and Lynn finally manage to flee back to their grandparents' house. Inside, David finds their grandmother dead, clutching a photograph of their mother. He shows it to Lynn, but she refuses to believe that is the same woman.
Okay, now time out right here. I really do enjoy the part when they run to the train tracks and the train is going, but this bitch is standing on the other side. That shit was kind of scary. And it was definitely giving Hereditary vibes when she took the fuck off and started chasing them. Like she was running just like Annie was, and Annie ran about that corner for Peter. But this was my entire thing. I'm like, Lynn, how the fuck you didn't know that was your mom? Like, I'm just having such a hard time believing that none of these kids recognize that lady. Like, David, you had a picture of her. Lynn, you're old enough to remember what your mama looked like. Because Lynn has to be like 16, 17. I don't think we get their ages. And if they did say their ages, yeah, I'm like, if they said it, I ain't hear it. But Lynn has to be like 16, 17. David gotta be, I give him 13, 14, maybe. I don't know. But if anything, Lynn, if the mama was in a psychiatric ward for 12 years, then Lynn would have been 4. I'm like, girl, you know what your mama looked like. You know, like, you didn't know? Okay. That's what don't make sense to me.
So David hears a noise in the basement. He sets off a rocket down there to flush out their mother. While they're waiting for it to explode, someone shows up at the door, and so David shoots whoever is out there. Turns out it was Kenny. But then the rocket goes off, and we see their grandfather in the basement getting lit the fuck up.
I'm just like, where are we getting all of these rockets? Why do you have so many? You should not have this many rockets. See, this is the problem. This is the problem.
I mean, when you live in the country, anything goes.
All right, that's what I said. This is the problem.
The police arrive moments later searching for the missing deputy, but cannot find the women that David and Lynn claim to have attacked them. David is taken to the hospital for his head injury, but he escapes in the middle of the night after witnessing his grandfather leaving the hospital. He steals a bicycle midway and ends up seeing his grandfather carrying his fuck, I can't talk. The mama knocked out. He takes her out of one of the little irrigation ditches and drags her out back to the house. And he sees this. So he follows them to the basement where he watches his grandfather murder his mother after semi-confessing to raping her and referring to David as his son. Jesus. Then David grabs an axe and confronts his grandfather/father. His grandpa dad goes to stab him, and instead David blocks the blow and beats him to death with the axe. The end.
And I have a lot of issues. One, where the fuck did Lynn go? She just disappeared from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get, first of all, why the fuck is this even called grandmother's house? I was just like, I was just like this. And then when you get the whole reveal of grandpa being an abuser, I was trying to figure out what word I wanted to use. I didn't want to say the R word, but like, I was just like, why? Why did we do this? Why was this a choice? And then the end, when David was like axing him, I was cracking up.
It's because he hit him with the back of the axe. He didn't hit him with the right side.
But also, I'm just like, that's a clean ass axe. Like, there's no blood on this axe, like at all, like none. And then the way he was swinging it, I'm like, this axe is fake because it's weight. I've picked up an axe. I've picked up small axes, and they still got some weight. And he's swinging it like he fucking Corey Haim in Friday the 13th. Not Corey Haim. Corey Feldman in Friday the 13th. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening here? Like this, what the fuck was this? Like, I was expecting some full 80s cheese, and this was not the cheese I was looking for. And this, it could have went somewhere.
It had the potential. Like, give me some backstory. What prompted David to be suspicious about his grandfather in order to cause a nightmare like that? There's no backstory to that. And like,
did something happen last summer? Like, right? What the fuck?
Like, I get the possible idea of you just being suspicious of being with new people, but then at the same time, these are your grandparents and you've lived with them before, and apparently y'all visit every summer. So it just wasn't making sense.
Like, y'all acting like y'all ain't seen them since y'all was babies. That's how I would have thought, the way y'all up in here acting. Like, and I get it. Like, sometimes, like, when you go to your grandparents' house, you probably don't want to be over there. You do be acting like kind of funky for the first week. But I'm just like, damn, like, y'all just acting like y'all don't know these niggas at all.
Right. And I'm just like, you just did all of this just to tell us at the end that David's a product of incest. Like, it just, I needed more.
Yeah, I was just like, this movie needs to go back to the drawing board. And I seen a lot of people
with some backstory.
Yeah, and like I said, it did not need to be an hour 30. This literally could have been an hour and maybe like 2 minutes, if that. It could have been under an hour. It did not need to be that long. This was, because the thing is, you do all this building, making us think that obviously the grandparents are the killer. And I like the twist of finding out that no, the mom's actually the killer, and they've been trying to subdue this bitch because she keep doing shit. I like that. You could have just we didn't need two twists. We didn't, especially not the last one you gave us. We did not need that, because
that's probably why she started killing in the first place.
It could have, but if you were gonna do that, then make it make sense. Then, like, bring it back, because that's still just like, well, damn, like,
right?
Why not kill them instead of killing everybody else? Like, you doing them like, it was just a lot. Like, I just, yeah, child.
Now, one good thing that I have to say is that Lynn Lesser, he made a perfect creepy grandpa. But other than that,
I like that his name was Spike, Grandpa Spike. That's like as a kid, I'd be like, my grandpa named Spike. My grandpa Spike finna come get me. And all the kids on the playground would be like, damn, your granddaddy named Spike. And I'd be like, yeah.
In the marching band, we had a a band director. I don't even know if you want to call him a director, but his name is Spike, and we called him Mr. Spike. He was cool. I love him.
Ratings.
All right. Well, IMDb gave this a 5.2 out of 10. There was no Rotten Tomato score. So, with that being said, what would you rate this movie?
This one, because here's the thing. Even though I just shitted on it the way I did, no, I don't like the movie. So don't think I was about to say I like it. No, I wasn't about to say that. It's
like,
not,
what, Ashley?
No. It's not like all the way terrible, because I was genuinely shocked at the first twist. And then when the second one came, I was just like, oh, wait, whoa, we did a lot. That was a lot. And there were some moments, like I definitely did like the shot of the mom watching from the bleachers. I thought that shit was kind of like, oh, yeah, we've seen it before, but it was fine. So yeah, don't think it's not about to get a high score. It's getting, and I feel like I'm being nice. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna be nice. I'm giving this 40 tickets. I was about to give it 45, but I'm giving it 40.
I give it 30.
Oh yeah. Damn, so this is a doozy. Well, there we
It's
go.
a doozy.
Because like I said, like Survivors, like if you just feel like bullshitting, like watch this one. If you just listen to us, this is probably the shortest episode in D180 history. But yeah, it might be like, yeah, literally this episode. If this episode hits an hour, I would be surprised. Literally surprised.
Because I didn't even take long. Because normally what happens is we'll take long with the Q line, or we'll take long with like the backstory and just like shooting the shit. But we didn't even do that this time.
No, we don't do it all the time, but it just depends on what's happening. Ain't nothing really happened this week either. And we already did a Scream bonus episode, so we probably would have spent the bulk of time talking about that. So, souvenir shop?
Yeah, souvenir shop.
Let's go.
Thanks for riding. Before you go, take a detour into the souvenir shop.
All right, so I don't necessarily have anything as a souvenir for this movie. Maybe some oranges. I don't know.
I do not. Y'all know y'all can see the posters when we post the announcement for today's episode. You see all the posters on there. Damn, not a short souvenir shop too. Wow. You know, it's all right. Let's run these park announcements. Okay, y'all, that was our third movie, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, yeah, y'all know we ain't seen this movie. It ain't really have shit to do with the grandma, and that's okay, whatever. Because next week, bitch, we ending this whole month with the second baddest grandma in the land, and that's Grandma fucking Lois from Paranormal Activity 3. I cannot wait to talk about this bitch, because I don't know if between her and Ellen Taper Lee from Hereditary, who's fucking worse, because they're damn near one and the same. But in the meantime, you can catch up with us on all of our socials, D180 Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Email us at destination180podcast@gmail.com. Just for any feedback, you know, if you want to link up with us, feature us on the show, or get on our show, or whatever the hell you just want to shoot the shit and tell us some shit, you can email us there. Other than that, we will see you next time as we wrap this theme, Nannies Gone Wild, with Paranormal Activity 3, and we'll be revealing the theme for February that I still haven't named. It's been sitting there for almost...
I thought you already named it.
The end still does not have a thing. So, yeah. Well, I will see if I figure it out by next week. And if I don't...
Because I already got a song in my head.
So, yeah. All right, survivors. That's the end of that. We'll see you next time when the park is open.
Bye, y'all.
I'll see you soon.